Hey guys, my name is Joshua Otto. I'm a real estate agent here in Naples, Florida, and today I'm with Eric Watson with Premier Mortgage Consultants. Today we're going to be talking about Hometown Heroes. It's a very popular loan program, just opened up its funds, and I wanted to talk to Eric about it. So Eric, tell us a little bit about Hometown Heroes.
So Hometown Heroes program is a down payment assistance program that really is set up by the state of Florida, and its basis is to assist local, I guess you would say the substance of every community, their public safety, public service entity to become homeowners.
Okay.
So basically, when I say that, anybody serving in the military, anybody working in the public safety realm, and I'm talking about paramedics, EMTs, firefighters, any kind of law enforcement officer or correctional officer, anybody working in the medical fields.
Okay.
And when I say medical fields, that's pretty broad and abstract. Nurses, physicians, but technically they probably make too much money and they won't qualify. But certainly mental health counselors, certainly nurse assistants, dental hygienists, anything along those lines is going to qualify as well. And then, of course, our teachers. And most individuals that are employed within the local public school system are going to qualify for that program as well.
So how does somebody qualify?
So first and foremost, you've got to have a credit score greater than 640, which many people do. And if not, you're going to have to do something with credit counseling to improve your credit score. Either you're going to have to erase some debt, or you're going to have to take care of any kind of outstanding debt that you have that hasn't been paid and is subsequently hurting it.
Okay. Now, how much would somebody get if they qualified for this program?
So at the end of the day, for the most part, you can only get up to 5% of the actual loan amount, or $35,000.
Okay.
So it's capped no matter what. When I say anybody that's going to be on the loan has to have the low credit score of anybody that's going to be on the loan has to be 640 or higher.
Now, what do you think is the pros and cons of this program? Why would somebody maybe not want to get this program?
Either they're overqualified, because at the end of the day, we call it a down payment assistance program, but it really is a loan or a second mortgage that gets placed against the house as soon as you close on the loan. So yes, they'll give you up to $35,000, but when you look at the documents at closing, you're going to have your first mortgage, which is the loan amount that you took out when you originally purchased the home. And then you're going to have this additional loan amount. If they maxed it out, it would be set at $35,000 sitting out there as a second lien against the home.
Okay.
So it puts you over the hump in the case where you either need some or all of down payment assistance as well as help with the closing costs. Because traditionally, most of your closing costs and your down payment, when I get somebody that calls me and says, "Hey, I'm thinking about buying a home. What do you think it's going to cost me?" You either got to put 3, depending upon the loan program, 3, or in the case of an FHA loan, 3.5% down. And then your closing costs are going to run somewhere in the neighborhood of 3% as well.
Okay.
So they help cover some or all of those closing costs, and that loan sits out there with a lien against your home. It's not payable. There's no interest accruing on it. That's an advantage of it.
Okay.
And you don't have to pay it back until you either A, sell the home and move, or B, refinance the home, whether it's a rate and term reduction or a cash out refi.
Okay.
And when you do that, that's when that loan amount will become due and payable.
Okay. So if somebody wanted to rent that home out, what would happen to that balance?
Okay. Part of the agreement that you make when you accept the down payment assistance from the Hometown Heroes program is you agree that that is going to be your primary residence.
Okay.
When you move into another home and you want to retain this home now. So life is good. You're 5 years into it. You know what? This home doesn't fit my needs anymore. And I want to move to a different location. You pick the reason. You move to that home, and now that home becomes your primary. And this home either becomes a second home or a vacation home or an investment property. That loan is going to become due and payable.
Okay. So that's something that somebody really needs to think about before they move out of that house.
Correct.
Yeah.
Another pro and con, depending upon your perspective, is that you are required to take a first-time home buyer government class.
Okay.
There's several providers out there. You take them online. It's 8 wonderful, riveting hours of your time that you will never get back, but it explains all of the components of obtaining a mortgage and what you can expect. So from an educational standpoint, you know what's involved as you move through that loan application process.
Okay. I know some people that could be, a pro, because a lot of people, they wonder how it goes, especially their first home. They can be very confused and almost overwhelmed with the whole process. So,
and it is. It is. There's a lot of steps and there's a lot of nuances that come into purchasing a home. They've got to negotiate, whatever the previous owner paid in taxes, because they're going to get a rebate on whatever. As soon as you take ownership, they don't have to pay the taxes on that property anymore. They're going to get a rebate. Well, you got to pay a prorated amount of the new taxes. Title will work that out. Same thing goes for homeowners insurance. Same thing goes for flood insurance. So there's a lot of steps in the first-time home buyer loan application process that you're just not going to be familiar with because you were never a homeowner before in many instances.
Are there other programs out there that are like this that someone might want to take advantage of?
Absolutely. There are quite a few lenders actually that offer it's really not Hometown Heroes. It's far less restrictive. The loan amounts, the down payment assistance in many instances is much lower. I've heard of and done what they call bond programs.
Okay.
$10,000, $5,000. And there's 2 types. There are forgivable and then there are non-forgivable. Now the Hometown Heroes program is a non-forgivable down payment assistance loan program. At some point in time, it might be 30 years from now, that $35,000 is going to get paid back. And I explained that earlier.
Okay.
There are forgivable loan programs. And I'll be honest with you, personally, I can speak to it from personal experience because the house I'm standing in, I got with the down payment assistance program. I had to take the class. Then they gave me $10,000 towards the closing costs of the down payment.
Okay.
And I had to sign an agreement that I would use the home as my primary residence for a minimum of 5 years.
Okay.
When that 5 years was up, I received a letter in the mail and the $10,000 was forgiven.
Wow.
And it's gone. So there are forgivable down payment assistance loan programs. In many instances, they're much smaller they're not $35,000. I've recently did one up in Cape Coral probably 2 years ago, and it was $10,000. And I know there's a few that are $5,000.
Wow. Well, considering that the average person moves now, it used to be 7 years, now it's 10 years. I think 5 years is definitely doable on that. Yeah.
Yes. And it was specific to first-time home buyers. So they didn't want anybody else taking advantage of this program.
Makes sense.
And again, it benefits the community when you own a home in the community where you live and you're not paying rent. You've got a vested interest in that community. So that's what we need. DTI.
Okay.
Your monthly debt to income ratio. In the Hometown Heroes program, it's a little bit less than what it would be in a standard FHA program. It's set at 50%.
Okay.
Ordinarily in an FHA loan program, it's set, you can push it in the upwards of 56%. So here's what I tell everybody when they call me on the phone and they say, hey, let's talk about, I'm a first-time home buyer. I need an FHA loan product. What are my DTI limits? You need to add up all your car payments.
Okay.
The minimum, you don't have to do the maximum of all your credit card debt. And credit card debt cannot just be MasterCard and Visa. There's also a revolving debt. You needed new tires, so you went to Goodyear and you bought 4 new tires and it cost you $1,000 and you signed up for a 6-month same as cash program.
Yeah.
Love those programs. Wonderful. I've done that myself.
Yeah. Got the rebate.
Exactly. That amount will count against your monthly DTI, whatever that is.
Okay.
So that's revolving debt. Or you go to one of the big name furniture stores and you finance a new living room set, and it's financed over 5 years. Whatever that minimum monthly payment is, you got to deduct that.
Okay.
And then you've got to deduct student loan payments.
Okay.
And usually student loan payments are deducted at either 1 or 0.5% of the outstanding balance.
Okay.
So as your monthly DTI, counting against your monthly DTI is how that's counted. And that's another big one. You 100% cannot, under no circumstances, no exceptions, be delinquent on your student loans.
Okay.
Automatic disqualifier.
Wow.
From all FHA loan products as well as the Hometown Heroes program.
Wow.
So anybody that is delinquent on their student loan debt cannot qualify for these programs.
Okay. Yeah. So pay your student loans.
Yes. And if you haven't and you've been delinquent and you want to buy a home, let's say you're a year out, contact whoever holds that debt, start making payments on it. When you make that 6th payment, they'll pull your name off that exclusion list.
Okay.
And for some reason, you can't see your name on the exclusion list until you put in that FHA loan application.
Oh, wow.
So when I'm holding conversations, and people forget about them.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot to pay it 5 years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever. And I'm like, and it's not, in many instances, it doesn't always show up on their credit report.
Oh, wow.
And so then I go, uh-oh, you got that block. Your name's on the list. You got to get it off.
Yeah. Okay. So if you haven't been paying them, you're still salvageable. We can still make this happen. So.
There is a path.
Yeah.
So you add all those amounts up.
Yeah.
Then I want you to add up the gross income of everybody that is going to be on the loan. So usually that's boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife, whatever relationship. Add up everybody's name that's going to be on that loan, divided by 12, and come up with a gross monthly income. Then divide that in half and subtract your monthly debts.
Okay.
And it cannot exceed 50%. Yeah, Hometown Heroes program, absolutely wonderful program. Great way to get into your first home and stop paying rent. For anybody that follows me on social media, if you're paying rent, you're paying somebody's vacation.
Yeah.
Somebody's sitting 100%. On a beach ordering an umbrella drink on your dime.
Yep. It's 100%. It's very true. So that is everything about the Hometown Heroes program. Eric, thank you so much for your time, for explaining this great program out there, the pros and cons, what other programs are out there that might be available to you, especially once these funds run out, because they only have limited funds.
They go fast.
Yeah.
Unbelievably fast.
I think last year was like only a month they had it open, and then they were already out. But they did limit this year. Last year, it was everybody could get it as long as you were a first-time home buyer. This year, they brought it back to hospital workers, policemen, firemen, first responders, teachers, that kind of thing. So, well, Eric, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yep. I appreciate it.
So that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.